Hello again, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm in my 19th year, and I'm here today to share with you a simple card. It's a gift card holder card. You probably could fold up some cash and stick it in there as well, using the Darling Donkeys stamp set. Darling Donkeys is a celebration item. Celebration goes through tomorrow, the 28th of February, and it is available as well as a number of other products with a $50 order before shipping and tax. And then there are some other items toward the back of the brochure that are available with a $100 order before shipping and tax. I'm also sharing and using the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. It's a great assortment of papers. You get 12 sheets, 2 each, and they have 2 sides. Get it flipped over for you. They're just some gorgeous, gorgeous papers. Really prettier in person by a long shot. And just a great compliment, I think. And Darling Donkeys is just an adorable set. So let's get started. So you will also need for this project layering ovals dies. I'm using not the largest, and have to look to see which ones they are. I didn't count them in. I believe it's the third to the largest, and then the second to the largest of the scallop. You also will need, I'm using Just Jade, which is one of our 2021 in color, in colors. This is a piece that's cut 5.5 inches by 9 inches. All of these measurements I will have on my blog, justalittleink.com. And I've scored it at 2 3/4 and 7 inches. You'll also need, as I've mentioned, from the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. This is the same piece, it's just got the flip side. 2 pieces. You need one that is 5 1/4 by 2 1/2, and another one that is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4 of an inch. You'll also want a piece of basic white cardstock, 5 1/4 inches by 2 inches. And then some scraps. I need a small scrap. This is a 2 by 1/2 inch piece of the Just Jade, and some scraps of the Flirty Flamingo and some more of our basic white. And so let me show you how quick and simple this card is to put together. So I'm going to fold them both in, these pieces along my score. Use my bone folder to get a nice crisp edge. And you'll notice it overlaps just a little bit. I'm going to fold here again, and then I'm going to come here. You can either use some of our tear and tape to put along these edges, or you can use some of our Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. I just need a little bit to run along both edges. I'm going to fold it in. This is going to be my pocket to hold my gift card. So then I'm going to take my piece of Designer Series paper. I want the polka dots. So I just need a little bit of adhesive to hold it. As much as you think, but you really don't need a lot to hold. I just really love how these polka dots on the black background, how they just stand out. So like so. Then on this side, that's where I'm going to put my flowers. It doesn't really matter what direction, just whichever way you like it. Lay it on here. Like so. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. And if you're going to be placing an order, especially if you want to take advantage of getting the donkeys or this beautiful Designer Series paper, if you would use the host code, and I'll also have this in the description on this video, I would so appreciate it. And I am still, roll over here, for another day or so through the end of February. Any order, it's placed on my website, which is the justalittleink.stampinup.net. I'm giving away an Approaching Perfection stamp set. This is another one of those options out of the Celebration brochure. I have an extra. So happy to share the wealth. So, okay, I've got all my parts here. Then I need to stamp everything. So I'm going to stamp and ink up my donkey. I put him on a block. I'm using Memento ink because I'm going to be using our Stampin' blends. It's kind of my go-to color option. If you're not one that likes to color, I think this guy would look good in a monochromatic look as well. So I'm going to line him up on my oval that I have already run through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I get my donkey. I'll clean that later. I need to stamp my hee-haw on this little teeny strip. And I'm going to put it right in the middle. We'll see how well I do. Kind of like that it's a little wavy. Keeps it where I don't have to be quite so straight. Okay, I'll set that aside for just a minute. I'll show you how I took care of my ends. And then I have two more images from this Darling Donkey stamp set. One says, "Hey there, friend." So let's see here. I put it here. And then one that says, "It's your birthday." You could not put this on here if you were wanting to give a gift that isn't for a birthday. There's the "It's your birthday." So all my stamping is done. This piece I'm going to stick in this open area, again with some of my Stampin' Seal. Just center it in this open space. Like so. And then I'm going to color my donkey. Now I'm not going to color all of him, but I'm going to show you the colors I've used. So I'm using Petal Pink to come in on his ears, and you would do that on the both sides, and on his muzzle. It just kind of sets it off, I think, really nicely. And I only used the light. You could certainly shade with both. I used the light basic black to do his hooves and the tail hair and the tassel at the top of his head, just to make that a little darker. You would do all of them. I used Flirty Flamingo, that's the color of my scallop oval, to do my flower, and I put a little darker with the dark, and then I'm going to use the lighter to blend it. Like so. And then I used the light of the Just Jade to do the stem and the leaf. And then the donkey himself, I colored in using Smoky Slate. If you hear my dogs, I so apologize. They bark at everything that goes by. If you have Yorkies, you will completely understand. So I'm going to show you just a little. I'm not going to color in all of him. Coming across here. So then I would come in. So I like to start with my dark and then go to the light. And then I'm going to come in where that dark is, and I'm going to start circling and it will start to blend that color toward my areas that aren't colored, and to give a nice smooth color. And you would do the same thing all the way through his body and into his legs. But by the magic of having done this ahead of time, I have one that I have already completed. And so I'm going to take it, I'm going to attach it again with my Stampin' seal onto my layer, like so. And then I can put it on the front of my card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this, you know, pretty much. I'm going to eyeball. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't want to get my ink, or excuse me, my adhesive over on this edge. So I have a tendency to use my finger just to kind of remind me that I don't want adhesive all the way over there. So, like so. Line him up. And kind of eyeball where I think center is with my adorable little donkey. Here. And then I have this hee-haw. And I told you I had a little trick. So I am using the Banners Pick a Punch. This was in our, now I may not be able to tell you which day it was. I believe it was the August to December. Our dates have been moving around a little bit with our mini catalogs, but it was the mini catalog that was during the holiday season, and it's carried over into the current ordering session. So I have a 2-inch piece. It's not very long. It's not long enough to really get in here. These little Post-it tabs work really, really, really well to give me an extra finger. So I'm just going to attach it on the one end, and then I'm going to push it into my punch, and you'll see I'm going to turn it over. I like to look on the back side to make sure I have this centered, and then I'm going to punch. So I've got one end, turn it off here, pull it in here, do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to slide it in. It just gives me the extra little finger that I need to be able to get in these short little pieces. So like so. Goes out of the way. Pull that off and it'll be ready for another time. So I have hee-haw that I'm going to stick here. Again, I don't need adhesive all the way, so I'm only going to put it in part of it. Turn it around and I'll line him up. I want it about here. You could line it up honestly wherever you wanted, but I think it'll go there really well. And then just to finish it off, I have some of our 2021 in color enamel dots, and I'm going to use my pick tool. I'm going to pull off those Just Jade dots, lay on one on top of, it'll blend in. But if you see it in person, and then I'm going to stick a couple more scattered. If you know me very well, you know I do things in threes. So I'm going to take another and stick it over here. That gives me my 3. I have an adorable little card, opens up. I can poke something in, so I can put in my Starbucks gift card, angled. I have a little room to write a note. Just like that, I have a gift to give away to a friend. So thanks again for joining me. Again, if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. You can use the host code that's listed here on my website. I hope that if you have not already subscribed, that you would consider doing so, and that if you haven't clicked the bell, you do that so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks so much again for joining me. Have a wonderful day.